What if the single most overlooked skill in our modern life was also the most powerful one? That simple piece of advice, right there, it's the very foundation of a powerful perspective on leadership, on success, and on the art of building a life that's really driven by purpose, not by fear. So today on the Corporate Buddha, we are exploring The Virgin Way by the one only Richard Branson. And let me tell you, this is so much more than just a business memoir. It's really a glimpse into the mindset that built a global empire, and it offers some truly profound lessons for your own journey of personal growth and tapping into your human potential. All right, let's start by getting to the core idea of the book. The Virgin Way argues that authentic leadership isn't about some rigid set of rules. Instead, it's a human-centric philosophy, a way of being that puts people first to unlock, extraordinary results and a deep sense of personal fulfillment. You can really see the contrast here. On one side, you have traditional leadership, which relies so much on hierarchy and control, and just talking. But the Virgin Way completely dismantles that. It replaces rigid authority with a shared vision, and it swaps top-down orders for a culture of listening. It's a model that's built on trust and this core belief that a business should actually feel like a family. So now, let's dive into the core principles of this whole philosophy. We're going to break down 3 unconventional lessons from the Virgin Way that I think can be genuine revelations for your own path to success and transformation. First up, a question for you to think about. In a world that is just saturated with noise where everyone is broadcasting, what is the single most vital leadership art form that is quietly but surely fading away? The answer? It's listening. But for Branson, this isn't passive hearing. Oh no, it's an active, strategic hunt for the truth. It's about getting out there, on the ground, and seeking raw, unfiltered feedback from your customers and your team before you make a move. It is without a doubt the most powerful intelligence-gathering tool you have at your disposal. And that brings us perfectly to our second big insight. So if listening is how we gather wisdom, how do we share our own ideas effectively? What's the real secret to communication that genuinely connects with people and inspires them to act? Well, the secret is just profound simplicity. Branson is a huge champion of the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Not just because it's catchy, but because it really, really works. The ability to distill a complex idea down to its absolute core, that's a superpower. It just cuts through all the noise, it respects people's time, and it makes sure your message isn't just heard, but that it's actually remembered. And finally, we come to the question that's at the very heart of ambition itself. What is that one force that separates a fleeting success from a lasting legacy? What is the true engine that fuels every great achievement? The answer is passion, and Branson describes this not as some wishy-washy feeling, but as the essential fuel for any meaningful endeavor. He calls it an all-or-nothing affair. It's the force that turns a job into a calling, and it is the non-negotiable ingredient for making every single moment of your life truly count. Now, these principles are maybe best understood through Branson's own perspective and the kind of wisdom he champions. So let's just take a moment and reflect on 2 quotes that really capture the essence of this philosophy. Great leaders simplify complex ideas for universal understanding. What this means for your life is that your influence, whether you're leading a team or just your own family, depends entirely on your ability to create clarity, not more complexity. Just start it. This is the ultimate antidote to that paralysis we get from overthinking everything. It's a command to just embrace action, reminding you that real learning and real growth can only happen when you are in motion. But look, inspiration is only valuable when it actually leads to action. So here's a tangible blueprint. 3 simple commitments you can make this week to start weaving the Virgin Way into your own life. Okay, first, the next time you have an important conversation, make a conscious choice to listen more than you speak. Really try to understand before you try to be understood. Second, the next time you feel completely overwhelmed by a project or a problem, just stop and ask yourself one question: how can I make this simpler? And third, the moment you wake up tomorrow, take one small, real first step on that idea you've been putting off. Just start it. So, after all that, what's our final assessment of the Virgin Way? Well, its greatest strength is, without a doubt, its refreshingly human and deeply actionable philosophy. If there's a limitation, it's that it reads more like an inspirational memoir than a step-by-step academic guide. So, who's going to get the most out of this? Aspiring leaders, for sure. Entrepreneurs? and really anyone on a path of self-development who wants to lead their own life with more passion and authenticity. Because the most crucial point is this: whether you lead a global company or you simply lead your own life, true leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. This is not just a book. This is a blueprint for the life you are meant to live. So, have you read The Virgin Way? I'd love to know. Share the one insight that really stayed with you in the comments below. And make sure you follow the Corporate Buddha, because we're going to keep exploring the ideas that have the power to change everything.